Hey guys, we're going to review the knife with no name. Okay, so I'm going to admit I got insanely jealous. Advanced Knife Bro, who literally has one of the best YouTube channels out there, one of the funniest, just most interesting knife reviewers out there, reviewed this a while back, and this is a no-name purple folding knife from Gearbest, but it's like 90 bucks, which is kind of contradictory because Gearbest usually sells some lower end stuff. And he had some very nice things to say about this knife, and he's very tough and very critical of Chinese knives, which is, or more Gearbest knives. He's pretty tough and critical of them. So if he was kind of won over by it, I thought I'm probably gonna like it. So I begged Gearbest, kind of begged and borrowed and stole until they sent me one of these, and I want to review it. And I have to say, I'm actually tickled pink. It's a wonderful little knife. So this is actually a rip-off, not a rip-off, it's a clone of a Sinkevitch design. You can no longer get it. It's something he released, and it's not even the same thing, it's just very similar to this. And Gearbest is now selling this in a D2 steel with a titanium handle that's very interesting milling on it. You can see it's milled like from the inside and outside, creating this nice kind of like interweave pattern on it. Very nice looking. It's anodized as well, so I haven't had any issues with the there's no paint or anything to rub off on this in the pocket, which is awesome. Haven't had any issues with that wearing. It does have and come with a little carrying case that has the pivot adjustment tool, so it does come with that. Pocket clip's a little weird and goofy, but you can get used to it. Very ergonomic in the hand. It actually feels very nice in the hand, which is kind of cool. And just a simple drop point blade design. I did put this on, did a mirror finish on the Lansky with a 25-degree edge, which I'm very happy with. It's a frame lock with a hardened stainless steel insert to keep that from wearing the titanium. Deployment, this thing is just buttery smooth, super smooth. Of course, it's on ceramic ball bearings, but yeah, this thing's super smooth, no flick of the wrist needed, hardly any effort. And not only that, but guys, check this out. We're gonna go up here. You can see the quality of those ball bearings are pretty astounding. Sorry guys, trying to do this behind the camera, but that is just fall down, and this thing is, it takes a real effort to bypass that pivot. You really have to shake the snot out of that thing to get it to go past the pivot. Lockup on this is very good as well. So what a beautiful knife. What a beautiful design. Obviously it's not a Gearbest design, but this thing just looks nice. It feels very nice in the hand. You have that open back construction with those little stop pins in there, and you can see even in the construction itself, you do have a very nice beefy stop pin. The engagement on the liner lock there is very nice. It's 100% lockup. That stainless steel mates up 100% with the blade, which is really good because there's just no blade play there. And I haven't adjusted the pivot. It could probably be a little bit tighter, but yeah, it's a very good detent. It's just rockets open. And the steel, guys, I have to say, I think this is D2. I think this is legitimately D2. After putting this on the Lansky, I think it's very difficult to tell exactly what a steel is until you sharpen it. And there's no way this is HCR13 MOV. Just absolutely no way. And you're going to see little footage. I took this out of the box and I cut, and I was able to get 80 feet of cardboard, 80 linear feet of cardboard slice before this thing lost the ability to push cut paper. It started losing the ability to shave hair around about 50, 60 feet, and then lost paper, around 80. Very similar to D2 performance of other knives. They tend to be between 80 and 100, so this is like, it's probably just a Chinese formulation of D2 steel. It's probably what, obviously they're not going to buy D2, ship it over there, and then make a knife out of it. It's just not worth it. So this is probably just a Chinese formulation of D2, probably chemically similar, but also very different. That's typically how they do business. And yeah, and now after the Lansky edge, it holds a very nice edge, and it's very sharp. Just laser edge on this thing. I'm not even trying here. It's wonderful. And you can do nice curves and everything. Just astounding edge on that. And the cardboard performance, because this is, I mean, obviously, you know, when you steal a very good, well-designed knife, you're going to get, you know, good performance. So it just, like butter. Absolutely like butter. No resistance, guys. No resistance. Yeah, like fingers on the knife. Not even grabbing it with my hand, guys. I know you can't see it, but yeah, that is astounding. So performance on this thing, guys, is definitely improved with the Lansky 25-degree edge. I gotta say, like, it's not, you know, like, it's not the best retention on a knife I've ever had, but it's pretty darn close. I have to say that. You know, doing 80 feet, the only knives I've had that have done better than that, I think, are M390. Oh, and a couple of, like, I only have maybe 3 knives that hold a better edge than this, so that is pretty awesome. I think for the money, $90, you know, like, if you like this design, if you like the looks of it, I think you're really going to enjoy this as far as a knife. I mean, I think it looks terrific. I mean, I love that milling in the handles. I think that just looks great. It's got a great lockup. It's great ergonomics. It feels good in the hand. My only real complaint about it is the balance, because the handle's very, very light, being titanium. And I don't have any doubts this is titanium because, you know, it's just so light. You know, I've dealt with aluminum. You know, it could be aluminum, anodized aluminum. It's a possibility, but, you know, because aluminum's that light. But I just can't imagine having that rigidity and all that out of aluminum. So I'm pleasantly surprised. There's no way that's stainless steel at all, because it's very blade heavy. But this overall, guys, is a knife that's like 4-inch blade for under, or 4-inch blade, and it's like under 4 ounces. This is a very big knife for the weight. This is a great opportunity for guys who like big knives but don't want a lot of weight. This is a I gotta say, guys, after playing with this, if I lost this today, if this fell out of my pocket, I would go and buy another, cash my own money. Like, honestly saying, I really like this, really enjoy it, and I think I love the way the handle looks, the way that it's milled out, you know, on both sides of each liner. I think that's a really cool touch. You know, it gives it that nice 3-dimensional effect to it. It looks nice, it runs nice, it's good steel, it's smooth. It fits good in the pocket, fits good in the hand. I like everything about this knife. Everything. I really like it. I really like it. You know, and if Sinkevitch were still making this, I would probably consider buying the original. But he doesn't. But fit and finish on this, guys, I'm not seeing any issues at all. You can see it's a little bit of a cutout there on the back, which made it a little tough to sharpen in the Lansky. It's no flaws in the titanium. Everything's rounded. Nice, kind of chamfered nicely. No spots. The anodization is perfect. I'm not seeing anything along that lines. The blade alignment is rootin' tootin' good. You can see it's a little off to the left there, but I've had knives I paid more for. I paid more. The flipper's nice. No real obtrusive jimping or anything like that. And you can see it takes a very nice polished edge. You know, mirror finish on that edge. It's a, what is that, a satin finish blade? Maybe almost kind of a brushed. But yeah, this is nice. And that lockup. What a nice lockup. That little stainless insert there. The clip, you can see, is pretty good. It's nice for, it works for thick jeans. It's very strong. I think it's stainless steel. It's got a lot of spring to it. I don't think that's titanium at all. And that's, I don't know if that's painted or not. I don't see anything wearing off it yet. But yeah, guys, I'm really digging this knife for I'm really liking it, guys. I really like it. Like I said, if I lost this today, I would go buy another. I really I like this. I'm going to be carrying this for a while. I really think this is a good knife, and my edge retention tests are showing this is definitely, if it's not D2 steel, it's something very similar, because it's putting out numbers, you know, performance-wise similar to D2 steel. So hope you guys enjoyed. Okay, stage 1 of performance testing is complete. What I've done here is cut 80 approximately 1 foot strips of paper. As you can see, some are longer, some are shorter. It all evens out because I've been keeping track over the last probably year or so of cardboard cutting performance of various steels, so I can see how well the heat treat works and all that. And I can say, you know, this is labeled as a D2 steel. And we all know with the Chinese, they're not buying American D2 steel and then making knives out of it. They're making their own equivalent. So I don't expect it to be exactly like the American-made D2 that I've tested in the past. So my standard, and I'll explain real quick, is I start cutting 10 at a time, and then I check the knife blade. And what I do is I look for when it stops shaving hair, and I look for when it stops cutting kind of newsprint catalog paper, and then I look at when it stops cutting regular paper, kind of a push cut kind of thing, not like a cheater slice. Now, performance-wise, I've had knives of 8CR13 or cheaper steels lose that edge after 20 or 30 slices of cardboard. Better 8CR13 will go up to, you know, sometimes 40, sometimes even 50 feet, depending on the manufacturer. Things like VG10 and all that. VG10 can do 50 or 60. You get up into the higher end steels, like American D2 usually gets 80, 90 feet of cardboard. Things like M390 have gotten over, I think, like 110, and some of the others, you know, out there, but typically anything over about 50 I consider a fairly good performing steel. And this one here, you can see we have 80. It no longer shaves hair, which I lost that around 60. It will take a couple off, but nothing, you know, not reliably. So we look, we still reliably push cut paper, and we still pretty reliably cut catalog paper. Ooh, that one's ripped already. Ooh, embarrassing myself. There you go. See, on a clean edge there, it actually does pretty well. But yeah, this is already kind of mangled up. Yeah, let's try over here. But you can see we're just losing that edge on the paper. If you get a clean one, you know, you can do it, obviously. But if you don't get a really clean pull on it, you're not. So I would consider that the edge of performance as far as this. So 80 is about where we're at, and that falls right in line with the lower D2. So there's no way on earth this is 8CR13 MOV. It's definitely a higher end steel. Could it be VG10? Yeah, sure, if it's a really good VG10. But this outperformed VG10, N690, all those other steels, so definitely a performance steel. Is it real D2? Who knows, but performance-wise, real good. So we're going to move on to part 2. I'm going to sharpen this with the Lansky, come back and see if performance improves or decreases, because edge geometry plays a big role in this. Okay, last call for alcohol. So I've cut another approximately 80 feet of cardboard with this thing, and it started showing some pretty good resistance, right around 75 feet. So I know this thing's worn pretty good. It definitely will not shave hair at this point, but the edge still looks very much intact. I don't see any chips, any rolling, anything like that. So we're going to take a look and see. You can see we're just about where we were last time, which is it will cut on a good pull, but also rip sometimes. It'll still do kind of rounded cuts. But yeah, it's just starting to lose that paper edge at about 75. So my anticipation would be I'm actually out of cardboard. So my assumption would be this would get another 10 or 15 before it loses that capability to cut, push cut catalog paper like that. So so with the 25-degree edge, the Lansky edge, this thing is on par with D2, I'd say. I'd say there's no way this is anything like 8CR13 or 440C. Absolutely no way whatsoever, considering the amount of cardboard. 8CR13 pretty much goes kaput. Like, it goes from like being able to shave hair to like really dull very quick. This still has a very serviceable, very sharp edge to it, and it still is, even though there is some resistance now at this point, you can see it's not as good as it was earlier. it's still very, very sharp. So I'm very happy with the performance. The 25-degree edge didn't make a world of difference. Maybe 10 extra feet, so you're talking, what, 10% difference in edge retention with that edge. So I can live with that, but there it is, guys. I'm definitely happy with the steel. I can definitely say this is a higher end steel and not something junky at all, with a pretty good amount of certainty after cutting up all this cardboard.